Hello everybody, welcome to our playthrough of the Harry Potter Diagon Alley 2-player starter deck. We've each picked our wizard or witch. I've got Draco Malfoy.
And I have Hermione Granger and her accompanying deck.
Yep, the OP deck and a half, and you'll see why. We're not gonna just tell you how to play off the bat. We're gonna tell you while we're playing.
Yep.
This game really isn't the hardest to learn, but it does have a little bit of confusion in the beginning.
Yeah, especially since the rules that they give you on the side of playmat aren't exactly the most explanatory.
And the advanced rulebook pertains to probably 2% of this whole game.
I don't even know if it's that much.
Yeah. So, each wizard and witch has their own ability. Draco's is, during your turn, you may use an action and discard a card from your hand. To look at your opponent's hand, you may then choose one card in his or her hand and discard it. Which is an okay ability.
But compared to Hermione's, it's a little unfair. Hermione's, if you already have 2 or more lessons in play, whenever you use an action to play a lesson, you may play 2 instead of 1. You will see what lessons are soon and why it's nice to have as much as you can out as quickly as possible.
Lessons are this game's version of mana or energy.
Yep.
However, instead of having just 1 per turn, you can lay up to 2.
If you're Hermione, you can lay up to 4.
Yeah. If you're Hermione, you could just fill your glass cannon in 3 seconds, and you'll see why.
Alright, we're gonna finish shuffling up our decks.
Now, the full game has 60 card decks, but the starter decks only have 40. And that actually does affect the game pretty well, because the way to win the game is to damage your opponent till he's out of cards. And how do you damage? Well, monster hitting, him punching himself in the face. Because you basically get things you can do. I mean, you start the game by drawing 7 cards.
Which we'll each do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
6 and 7.
6, 7, yep.
Now, there's several types of cards. There's lessons, which, as I said earlier, are your mana. There's spells, which you can use to attack the opponent and or creatures.
And then there's creature cards.
Yep. Which are basically your
attackers.
Yeah. Now, this is, again, the starter deck. In the advanced deck, there's other types. There's even wands and stuff like that. But we're just going to start. So we're going to start going here. And on your turn, you can draw a card. I'm going to go first.
All right. I'll allow this.
Yeah, because you've got the OP deck. So I draw my card. And since I have no creatures in play yet, since it's the first turn...
Obviously, you're not attacking with them.
Yes. So after that, you have the ability to do 2 actions. You can either play a lesson card, you can play a creature card, you can play a spell card, or you can punch yourself in the face and draw another card. Because when you deck out, you lose. Now, what I'm going to do, and you can do any combination of those for
up to 2 of those.
Up to 2. So what I'm going to do, since it's my first turn, and I know Draco is a heavy mana user, I'm going to just do 2 lessons. A lesson of magical creatures, and another lesson of magical creatures. And that is my turn.
Alright. I'm going to draw my card for the beginning. And now, I'm going to lay a lesson. So we've already explained what you can do. And then lay another lesson. I have a Charms lesson and a Care of Magical Creatures. Now, real quick, before we move on, the lesson types can be very important. When you lay down a creature card, it'll have a number of energy or lessons you need to play that. And you have to have a matching type. You only have to have 1 matching type, but you do have to have at least 1 of that type to do a creature or to do a spell.
And as I said, the same is true for spells. We've got the symbol in the corner there, which looks like a little butterfly, is the symbol to do that spell in this deck. Now, each deck, there's Care of Magical Creatures, there's Charms, there's Transmogrification. Transfiguration, thank you. And
Quidditch and
Potions.
Yeah.
So there's 5 different types of mana, but this game only has 3.
This starter set, yeah.
So, her turn is done, so I'm drawing a card. And, again, I have 2 actions I can do. So for my first action, I'm going to lay down another Care of Magical Creatures. And that would be my turn normally, but since I can't do anything else, I am going to punch myself in the face and draw a card.
Alright.
And my turn's done.
Goes back to me. I'm going to draw my card. I'm going to lay a lesson using Hermione's ability. I get to lay 2 instead of 1. So there's charms.
And this counts as one turn, one action, I should say, not
2.
Both her actions. So she's only really used one action right now.
And then I am actually going to also punch myself in the face and draw a card.
Alright, her being done. I'm drawing a card. Now, because she's already got 2 out, the problem with Draco's deck is half of his spells are destroy one of their lessons. So you've just, on turn 2, nullified about 90% of Draco's deck.
But we'll talk more about that in the review. He's got a lot to say about that in the review.
Putting down a care of magical creatures. And I'm going to put a boa constrictor down.
Alright. Now the creatures, they show how much damage they do and then how much health they have.
Yep.
The boa constrictor does 2 damage and it has 2 health. That means on his next turn, I'm going to take 2 damage by discarding 2 cards. If I have a card that does damage to it and it does more than 2 damage, it'll end up destroying that boa constrictor and it will be discarded and won't be in play anymore.
Correct.
Otherwise, it'll just stay in play forever. His turn is over, so I shall start mine. I'm going to draw a card. Going to lay a lesson. I only have 1, so I'm only laying 1 down. And then I'm going to, I have 5 out, and I do have a care of magical creature, so I can lay a creature if I'd like to. Couldn't speak there for a minute. And I'm going to lay my special river troll. And that does 4 damage each turn, and it has 3 health.
Now, what do you have to do to lay that, though?
Oh yes, I forgot. To play this card, the special ones, I have to discard a care of magical creatures card in play. Which means I only have 4 now.
Joy of joys.
I forgot the special ones have that.
Drawing a card. I just got a Transfiguration.
I don't like these special cards. The special cards are like not coated, they're sticky.
Yeah,
The other ones aren't really, but these ones are like weirdly sticky.
Yeah.
No barbecue sauce on my hands, folks.
Gotta love it. So, oh, you forgot to take 2 for my turn.
Oh yeah, your turn just started, so I take 2 damage. My turn just started, so I take
it 2. I have 5 out, and I'm going to play Take Root, which is a spell that your opponent chooses one of his or her creatures in play and discards it.
I only have 1, so obviously I'm going to choose this one.
And you can see where this is going when it comes to the game. Again, we're just playing, this is the review, but keep it in mind.
Alright.
My turn's done.
Gonna draw my card. Alright, I'm going to lay down a lesson. I have Charms lesson. I have 5 lessons out, but they are all charms, so I cannot lay any creatures, because all of my creature cards require care of magical creatures. However, I do have a spell card that I can use. It is a spell card called Freeze, and it takes 3 lessons. And I'm going to choose one of my opponent's creatures in play and do 4 damage. Obviously, I'm going to choose the boa constrictor. 4 damage is enough to kill it, and that goes out.
Alright. So now it's my turn.
Yep.
Drawing a card for my turn. I'm going to lay a lesson.
Yeah, so far, for all you're complaining about these decks, you are kind of on the upper hand right now.
Yeah, I got really lucky so far. I'm going to play Boa Constrictor again.
Alright.
Which is a 2/2 creature, and that ends my turn.
Alright. Draw my card. Alright. Going to lay Care of Magic Creatures lesson. And then I'm going to lay a creature called Quintuped. It does 2 damage, and it has 5 health.
Alright. Her turn's done. Mine starts. She discards 2.
1, 2.
Alright. Drawing for my turn. I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to, in a Carfrius, I horribly misspelled that. I choose a creature and I destroy it, so I'm going to kill your
Carciferous
Quintuped.
Alright.
And my second action is going to be laying a Cunning Fox.
Alright, that is a 3/1 creature. Impressive.
Now, there's no limit to how many creatures you can have. You can have as many creatures as you can put out.
Exactly. As you have in your hand, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, there's no limit on the table. It's not like in Pokemon where you can only have 5 plus your active.
Alright, drawing my card. Alright. How many do I have? I have 3. I'm going to use my spell Blue Wig. Does 4 damage to my opponent, and then I get to draw a card.
Alright.
So you take 4, and I draw my card. And then I'm going to use my spell card Fluffy Falls Asleep. Choose a creature in play and return it to its owner's hand. I'm going to choose the Cunning Fox and return it to your hand.
Alright. My turn, you take 2. Drawing for the turn. How many cards do you have?
3.
I'm going to lay the fox again.
Of course, but at least I delayed that damage a bit.
And I'm actually going to use Draco's ability, which is discard a card, which I will discard a transformation ability. And this is my extra turn. I'm going to pick... See, look at my hand. So I look at your hand and I pick which one I want you to get rid of. And you're going to get rid of that one.
I'm going to get rid of my spell Bluebell Flames. Alright.
And my turn is done.
I'm going to draw my card. He kind of screwed me a little on that one.
Yeah, that's the point.
Obviously. Going to...
I'm already playing the handicapped character here, so the fact that I'm winning is shocking, both me and you.
A little bit. I'm going to lay 2 lessons. If I can. That puts me at 4.
That puts you at more than you'll ever need.
I believe that puts me at 8, right? Yep. I think my highest one is 7, so 8 will be more than enough, but I'm going to use my other action to draw a card.
Alright, so you're taking 5.
Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a lot of creatures.
Alright, I've drawn for my turn. And my first action will be to use Draco's ability again.
Of course.
Discarding that card, and we're going to get rid of Freeze.
Alright, my spell Freeze, which you've already seen in action.
And the second thing is going to be casting Epoximize, and just so you remove one of your charms.
Alright. Take that and discard it.
And my turn is done.
Alright, draw my card.
For the record, in our playing around,
Playtesting?
in our playtesting of this game, Draco never did anything near this good.
I think I didn't shuffle very well, frankly.
Yeah, I got lucky with my draws, so continue.
Alright, I'm going to... It's a difficult one. I suppose I'll draw a card. I need it. That's better. I'm going to lay down creature Quintuped, which if you've seen is a 2/5. And you're up.
Alright. So I'm going to draw a card.
Oh, how many am I taking? 5?
You're taking 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy.
And this time I'm going to play Incarceriferous, or that one again, and killing a Quintuped. And for my second turn, I'm going to use Draco's ability again.
You're not getting much out of me.
Pick one. And I'm going to discard a care of magical creatures.
Alright, I had 2 care of magical creatures in case you couldn't tell, so wasn't really much of a choice.
And my turn is done.
Alright, I'm going to draw my card. Going to lay care of magical creatures there, so he can't keep using that action. And I'm going to use my spell Freeze, and I'm going to do that damage to the Cunning Fox. It does 4 damage, and that kills it.
Fox is dead. Alright, so for my turn, I'm drawing my card.
I'm taking 2. 1, 2. Very close now.
Indeed. You have nothing in your hand.
Yep, so you can't use that action. Ha ha, I got you.
Exactly. So, for my first thing, I'm going to draw another card. And my second one, I'm going to use that spell to make you discard a Care Magical Creatures card.
Alright, that doesn't really do much damage.
Yeah, at this point, it's nothing, but...
Alright, I'm going to draw my card. I have one card left.
This is a first.
This really is a first. There's not really much I can do at this point. So I think I'll just take the high road and make it so he doesn't feel like he actually won. And just draw this card myself. I have run out of HP, my hit points, my deck is gone. I have lost this game, surprisingly.
Very surprisingly. Usually Draco is the runt. And...
we may actually have to play another game just to prove that to you.
yeah, and let's actually do that as we speak. So let's reshuffle and get to playing. So while she's doing that, I'm going to look at some of the advanced rules and see what else we have here.
I'm going to try and shuffle very well since I don't think I shuffled very well last time. I got a little cocky and things got messed up.
See, in the advanced game, they have adventure cards, which, if you've played the WoW card game, which I know you haven't, you will soon though.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, if you played the WoW card game, those would be like the quest cards. Except for this one, your opponent has to overcome it. An example they give in there is 4 Privet Drive. The effect of the adventure card is your opponent can't play spell cards. To solve it, which is to overcome it, your opponent chooses 6 cards in his or her hand and discards them. Your opponent's reward, your opponent may draw a card. Interesting way to do it. It'd be nice if they included some in this to give a real feel for...
yeah, there's a lot of card types that they go in the advanced rules that they do not have in this game.
Yeah, and again, I keep coming back to like Pokemon where, yeah, they've added new stuff, but it's really just, here's an new thing they added on that doesn't really, you don't truly need, but some of these feel like you may need them to make strategic decks.
Yeah.
So, since I won last one, you can go first.
Alright, we both draw 7. 7. I feel like I didn't shuffle very good again.
Yeah, I could definitely say the same thing.
Alright, I'm going to draw for my...
yeah, shuffling king right here.
Going to draw for my turn. Going to lay down a Care of Magical Creatures lesson. And a Charms lesson.
Alright.
And you're up.
Drawing. You gotta be...
Expelliarmus!
And yes, we'll bleep that. So, if you hear a random sound effect from the world of Harry Potter, you now know what happened. My first thing is Care of Magical Creatures. My second is...
Transfiguration.
Transfiguration. You're up.
Alright, draw for my turn. I now have 2 lessons down, so if I play one, I'm allowed to play 2.
And that's each turn. Each action, I should say. So you could, right now, put down 4.
Yep. I'm putting down 2 for one action. I just have to find the other one in my hand. 2 Charms lessons. And I have 4 lessons and 1 Care of Magical Creatures, so I may now lay down creatures. My first creature I'm going to lay down is Scottish Stag. Does 1 damage each turn, but it does have 5 health. And your turn is up. Or my turn is up. Your turn is.
I'm drawing. I'm going to lay down a lesson, which is a Care of Magical Creatures. Probably should be doing it like this.
Lay down low. Lay down a lesson.
Respect my authority. And I'm going to put down...
Bless you. Bless you.
I'm sorry, I'm just allergic to playing as Draco here.
Just allergic to this terrible game.
Exactly. So, playing as Draco again, doing both that. Put 2 down. Your turn.
Alright, I'm going to draw my card.
And I take 1.
Yep, you take 1 damage. Alright. I'm going to... my actions. I'm going to lay down another creature, another Scottish Stag.
So now I'll take 2.
And... you know what? What the heck? I'm going to lay down a 3rd Scottish Stag. He will now take 3 on my next turn.
And this is where Hermione kicks off.
Your turn is up.
Drawing. Laying a Care of Magical Creatures. I'm actually going to just move that one to the side to make it look more organized.
So now you have 5.
I have 5, and I now have a Cunning Fox out.
Alright, so I'm going to take 3 on his next turn.
Yep.
My turn is starting. You take 3. Draw my card.
Oh, there goes all my good ones.
Oh. Alright. I currently don't have enough lessons to do what I have in my hand. I'm going to draw a card real quick. Oh, would you look at that? I'm going to lay a lesson. I now have 5, but I can do some of the things in my hand. I'm going to use the spell Out of the Woods. Look at your opponent's hand and then discard all creatures from it.
Okay.
Oh, that was a waste. No creatures there. Alright, well, your turn is up. I take 3.
Draw a card. You'll take 3.
2, 3.
Alright, for one of my actions, I'm going to use Draco's ability. I'm going to look at your hand and I'm going to discard a card. So we're discarding that.
The River Troll?
The River Troll.
It's fine. It's not that good anyway.
Alright, so for my second action, I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to discard that one.
Bluebell Flames. Alright.
And you're up, so I take 3.
Yep. Going to draw my card from my hand. Alright. I'm going to real quick draw another card. I'm going to use my spell Freeze. Choose one of your opponent's creatures in play and do 4 damage to it. I'm going to destroy, what is it, the Cunning Fox. So now I no longer take damage in his turn.
Yeah, and I'll draw. Going to play the Boa Constrictor I just drew. My second thing is going to use Draco's ability to discard. Let me see. What does Out of the Woods do?
Out of the Woods. Look at your opponent's hand and discard all creatures.
And the other one, Fluffy. Yeah, just get rid of Fluffy.
Alright. Fluffy Falls Asleep is now gone.
Alright, I take 3.
Gonna draw my card. I'm gonna draw a card again for my action.
And yeah, once these games start rolling, these games can get gone pretty quickly.
Yeah. Thought I was about to seize there.
You're allergic. Well, you can't be allergic to the Hermione one. The Hermione one's a better one. It's just a game in general.
You know what? I'm actually not going to try this card because I feel it's not going to do anything. Otherwise, he would have discarded it. I'm going to leave my turn there. I'm not going to use my second action. You don't have to use your second action if you don't want to, and I'm not going to.
So true, you have the option. So I'm going to draw a card. You're going to take 2.
I really should have drawn that second card.
You did it. My first one, I'm going to do Draco's ability. What you got? What's the blue wig again?
Do 4 damage to your opponent, then draw a card.
Yeah, I'm going to do Draco's ability twice, and you're going to discard both those.
Both Bluebell Flames and Blue Wig?
Yep.
Alright.
And you took 2 for the turn, right?
Yep.
Alright, my turn. I'll take 3.
Gonna draw my card. Alright. First off, I'm going to use this spell card Swarm. Count the number of creatures in play, both mine and my opponent's, and do that much damage to my opponent. You're going to be taking 4. Appears to be all of your spells.
Pretty much.
And I'm going to draw a card.
Alright.
You're up.
Drawing for my turn.
Taking 2 damage. 1, 2. Somehow I keep getting rid of all of my lessons and only drawing spells.
My first is going to be Draco's ability. And what you got?
Out of the Woods and Fluffy Falls Asleep.
Let's see. Let's get rid of Fluffy. My second is going to be Aviforce, which choose one of my opponent's Care of Magical Creatures cards, and they discard it.
I only have the one, so anything that requires a Care of Magical Creatures card, I cannot use now. I'm going to draw a card.
No, you mean you can't play, correct? Or do the creatures actually stop working?
The creatures will continue to be on play. I just cannot play any new ones.
Correct. 1.
Oh yes, you didn't take
2.
any damage.
I just wanted to clear that up beforehand.
Yep. I'm going to draw another card. Well, would you look at that? I'm going to lay 2 lessons on my second action. One of them is a Care of Magical Creatures, so now I may use those cards again if I come up with any. Your turn is up.
Drawing for my turn.
Oh, I need to take 2 damage.
Yep. I'm going to, my first action is going to draw another card. I'm going to do Take Root as my is my second action, which your opponent chooses one of his or her creatures in play and destroys it.
Alright, they're all scattered tags, so it doesn't really matter what I discard. I guess the last guy gets to go. I'm gonna draw my card. I have a feeling that this card isn't going to do anything. I'm going to try it anyway.
Okay, which card is that?
Out of the woods, look at your opponent's hand, discard creature cards. I had a feeling.
No, I just got homework.
Alright. Well then, I'm not going to...
Take your second turn.
Not going to take my second turn. Did you take your 2 damage?
I did not. I apologize. 1 and 2.
No problem.
Alright, so 2 for you. Drawing a card.
1, 2.
First I'm going to do is Draco's ability. Go ahead and discard it. And the second action is going to be destroying one of your creatures in play.
Alright. My turn. I'm going to draw my card. You take 1 damage. And that then ends the game. That one was still a little closer than most of our playtesting, but as you can see, once Hermione gets a few lesson cards down, she really can start rolling.
Yeah, once she gets her, even with me basically cock blocking all your spells I could, I still couldn't get anything out fast enough.
Yep.
So, not the worst, but not the best.
Yeah.
So we're tied. So, tiebreaker?
It's up to you.
Tiebreaker.
Alright. Lay my Hermione back down. And shuffle it up. Gotta stop moving this playmat.
It's gotta be a better playmat. This playmat sucks. This whole game sucks.
We'll talk about that in the review.
Yeah.
Leave that for another video.
Trust me, I know. I want to hate so bad on this right now.
We're trying to be pleasant currently.
There's a reason this
didn't take
off. I mean, right now, as you can see, the basic starting, we've got the starting, and we're actually getting pretty speedy with the games.
Of course, with
Shuffling.
part of the deck taken out from his normal deck.
Yeah, we're still 20 cards light compared to the others.
Alright, we're going to draw our 7.
And I'll go first this time.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Alright, drawing for my turn. Putting a trance lesson and a magical creatures lesson. The turn is yours.
Alright, draw for my turn. Playing a creatures lesson, playing a charms lesson, and up. As you can see, the starting turn every game for both players is always going to be the same. Unless the other person doesn't have 2 lesson cards, it's always going to be laying 2 lessons to get started. Otherwise, you're just wasting actions.
So, I'm going to do homework, which lets me put down 2 spells for play, which is the first time I've actually used that.
You mean 2 lessons, not 2 spells?
2 lessons, thank you. And speaking of spells, I'm going to do Epoxy, which destroys one of your charms in play.
I'm going to discard that.
And my turn's up.
I'm going to take my card for my turn.
I can't even pronounce the Pokemon card names right. There's no way I'm getting these right.
I'm going to lay down a lesson. And then... 1 sec.
Now that she's got 2 out there, she can use her ability. It doesn't have to be at the start with the thing.
Yep. However, I only have 1 more lesson in my hand, so I'm going to just lay the 1. And that'll be using my second action. It's back to her. I have 3 care of magical creatures.
You say back to her?
I might have. It's back to you. Back to you.
Thanks. Okay, so for my first action, I'm going to lay... Yeah, for both actions. Boa Constrictor. Boa Constrictor.
Alright.
You're up.
Take my card. Alright. I'm going to actually draw another card real quick. That wasn't what I was hoping it would be. Let's see. I currently don't have much in my hand that I can do. So I'm just going to lay another lesson. I only have the 1.
Alright.
to him this
You're
time.
going to take 4.
Alright. This one, I didn't shuffle very well.
No, you did not.
All of my Care of Magical Creatures cards are on top of each other.
So I'm going to put a lesson down. Surly Hound. And you're up.
I love how these games are going complete opposite of how our test play games went.
Yeah, I guess I just perform better in front of a camera.
Drawing my card. I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to draw a card. Oh my god.
You can always draw another card.
Yeah. How much damage am I going to take in? 5?
5.
I don't know if I really want to draw another card at this point. Alright, I'm going to attempt to use Fluffy Falls Asleep. It only needs Care of Magical Creatures cards, so I can use it.
Alright.
And choose a creature in play and return it to your owner's hands. I'm going to choose one of your boa constrictors.
Okay. So that's your 2 actions?
Yep.
I draw for my turn. I'm going to re-put the boa constrictor back out.
Of course.
And
But for that one, I had only taken
3.
2, 3.
And I'm actually going to use Malfoy's ability, discarding a card and seeing what you got. So we're going to get rid of that shiny one.
Going to get rid of the River Troll?
Yeah, I don't like that River Troll. He
No one.
he hurts in the face.
No one likes that River Troll.
And you're up.
Alright, going to draw for my turn. Going to lay a Care of Magical Creatures lesson. I have 5 lessons, but again, only Care of Magical Creatures, so they're not
Helping you
super
do any
useful.
spells.
Yeah.
Because Hermione is a very spell-heavy character.
Yep. 1 sec. However, I am going to lay a creature finally, because I have 5. It is Quintuped, it does 2, and it has 5 health.
Alright.
My turn, I'm taking 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's all my charms lessons, pretty much. All right there on top of each other.
Drawing a card. Oh, I finally get to play this one.
Which one is it?
Norbert.
Oh, hey, what does Norbert do? What do you have to...
I have to
apply to?
discard 2 of my Care Magical Creatures from play. So,
Oh.
bye, Care Magical Creatures.
It's a little disappointing, but how much does he do?
5.
Alright.
And for my second ability, I'm going to just draw another card.
Alright.
You're up.
Alright, first action, or not first action, but draw for my turn. Alright. Did you take your 2 damage?
I apologize, I have not.
No problem.
Thank you.
I am going to draw a card. Not what I wanted at all. But for my second one, I'm going to use my spell Swarm, count the number of creatures in play, both players, and do that much damage to your opponent. So
So
that's
I
5.
take 5.
However,
3,
this game is still
4, 5.
still not going the way that any of our play games went, so our review might be a little off. We're basing it on our play games.
So you're taking 10.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm drawing for my turn.
Draco got really lucky on this one, managing to get rid of that 1 charms at the very beginning.
Laying a Care of Magical Creatures. Playing Take Root. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Can't afford it. So I'm going...
Cheater.
I know, so I'm going to use Draco's ability to draw another card. Okay.
All right.
I mean, not Draco's ability. I would just use my ability to draw another card.
Alright, you're going to take 2 damage. Draw my card for my thing. Hey! Gonna lay charms.
Here comes the pain.
Not really, I still don't have...
You have 1 action, so you can take out one of my guys.
Yeah. Let's see. What would be best? I'm going to use Freeze. Choose your opponent's creature in play and do 4 damage. I'm going to do it to Norbert. that is enough to kill it. For such a
That is.
strong creature, it only has 3 health.
Glass cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so it's my turn. Drawing.
Taking my damage, and oh look, I'm out of cards. Which means
And I won.
he wins again. Very surprising, again, compared to our test games.
I am the Harry Potter champion, and yet I do not feel proud of myself.
No one's proud when they play this game. No one.
So, overall, as you can see, speed of gameplay, we made it go from like 5 minutes to instant. I mean, we just burned through that last game.
Yeah.
So you can burn through these games if you know how to play. It's not like there's really much strategy involved.
You don't really
either.
even have to know how to play.
Yeah, the game pretty much plays itself.
But we're going to leave these comments for a review, which we'd like you very much to watch, especially if you found the game itself interesting and wanted to know more about it.
And for the fact that you're even aware the game exists, because I didn't even know this existed until we went to our card shop.
Yeah, we saw it on the shelf.
So
it wasn't even really on the shelf. It was like tucked into a corner, like it didn't want anyone to know it was there.
Yeah, this is the last Horcrux of Voldemort here.
Just hidden in the back.
All right. Well, thanks again, and we'll catch you later in the review.
Bye.
Expelliarmus.